Okay, Aries, I'm just going to say it. But it's not like you don't already know it. But I'm going to say it. You guys, you're not getting any help from the cosmos. You are not. You motherfuckers are on your own. Oh my God. Like you are not going to get any aid and assistance, man. Don't even try. There's a sense of like, oh my God, I really want to like all your calls for help, your cries for help, ask for help, look for help, go for help. Ain't nobody coming. Ain't nobody coming, including you. This is a sterile time for you. Let's get all the hard topics out of the way. You love sex. You do. You're one of the most sexual signs in the zodiac. Keep it in your pants. I'm serious. There is just this sense of like, and it's not going to be difficult for you because, I mean, literally with this retrograde and all that squash coming from Jupiter and Pluto and like fucking like the dumbass Chiron, there's just a sense of like, you're like all kinds of like, anyway, like your virility is just not there anyway. So it's like, okay, use that to your advantage and don't try to push through it. Like accept it. Accept that that's where you are right now and that that's where you need to be. And ultimately, that's actually going to give you a lot of blessings if somehow you accept that. Because this is actually kind of funny. If you're an Aries who's attracted to men, I'm just going to say this straight out. Nobody's really impressing you. You're not. I think you want to go in a different direction. You know that you want to go in a different direction. Like your roots, you're reaching out, you're starting to branch out another direction, but you're not really sure where you want to go. There's a wishy-washiness about your life right now. Or there's just a sentiment of like maybe you're starting something new and it's still unclear. You don't know what's going to happen. Well, good on you. That's fine. But ultimately, when it comes to sex and love and romance, sexuality, if you're a man, there's a sense of, okay? And then there's also a sense of if you're attracted to men, not really interested. You'd honestly just rather be alone. It's like, roll over and can I go back to sleep? I mean, honestly, listen. Mars is also the sign of that masculine virility, and it's been in retrograde. And like I said, it's being like it's almost like being ridden hard by Chiron, this little dumpy centaur who basically whips you to death. Like it's just like this is just not your sexiest moment, Aries. It's not, and you know what's so wonderful about it? I'll tell you why. You are actually the lifesavers of the zodiac. And I wish people would really just kind of like glom onto your energy and just trust it. Because ultimately, hanging back and waiting is the best course of action right now. You don't rush into this. Let it happen slowly. If something is happening slowly, especially if it comes to a directional change, like something that you just got into that's brand new, understand that if it goes slowly, it's blessed. Moving slowly with anything that just changed is extremely good. Not being pressured. And if you're, I feel bad for you. If you are in a circumstance or situation where you feel pressured to make things rush, I feel real bad for you. And I would suggest that you not let motherfuckers rush you, because it's counter to anything that is good for you right now. There is a sense of stagnation, of, like I said, lack of virility, lack of, but that's because that's not the time. It's not the time for this. You know, I know you guys, some of you showed up, hopefully you showed up to my reading a couple of weeks ago. When I was doing predictions for the full moon, basically I was telling you the metaphor of how all those larger planets that were in retrograde for so long, they were moving in one direction for so long, and then they all started to come out. And it's not like, bam, the fucking energy changes. It's like walking in that whirlpool when you're a kid. You're like, yeah, let's make a whirlpool, yeah. And you like run around and run around and run around. You make a whirlpool to the point where sometimes it gets so intense you can just like lift your feet off the bottom of the pool and like float around. And it's so cool and it's so awesome. And then you stop and you try to go around backwards and you're like, whoa, and all the water splashes up in your face and it's really hard. That's what those outer planets are doing right now. It takes a long time and a lot of, it's like almost the energy is even crazier because we actually got used to spinning backwards and now it's changing, and it seems like, hello fucking chaos. Hi, how you doing? Nice to have you back. That's kind of what this is. And you are really blessed in that retrograde, in that pressure, in that feeling like not like yourself, because if you did, you want to head right headlong into this fucking shitstorm, and you'd be carried away to Oz like a goddamn tornado, and you'd end up being the fucking wicked witch of the East. A house landed on you. Some bitch would come from a foreign country and steal your best shoes. Ugh. So you're actually really lucky that instead of being like all kinds of rambunctious like you usually are, instead you're kind of like, yeah, Netflix, not even chill. I'm good. Because it's a good time to be like that. It's actually a blessing. Just letting you know. And there is that sense of like, you're not really finding anybody that really inspires you anyway. Prepare for that. Don't be frustrated, because it's not the time. It's not the time to start something new. Not a new relationship, not a new job, not a new anything. Now, one of my best friends is Aries. What's up, girl? And she just told me a wonderful thing, wonderful news, that she got herself a new job. But it started a long time ago. Like she didn't just jump into the process now. Like it's the end decision of a process that had been going on a long time. And it's really interesting how the decision was made now, because she really earned it and she really deserved it. And any decisions or good news that you got recently, there's a sense of, you know what, you're getting it because you deserve it. Because while everybody else was acting in fear and reacting in fear and hiding and staying stagnant, you actually made motion, and you did something, you decided to use your energy while you had it. And ultimately, when you don't have it, is a time when you are what? Receive. It's the rise of the divine feminine, which is all about being able to receive, absorb, and synergize. That's what the divine feminine does. And so ultimately, you are taking on that sense of, okay, I'm in a good spot right now. And you really, really are. Earth Mama, baby. Look at this. So this is very water-like energy, but it's almost like watering your dreams and watering your true nature. Like, who do you really want to be? This is the time for you to be able to see it, and for it to be able to be clear to you. And also you to reconcile those parts of your nature that maybe you were ashamed of in the past. Those parts of your nature that you denied so often. I don't mean your sexuality or sensuality. I could just mean those parts of your nature maybe that are more tender-hearted, maybe that are more analytical, that sense of like, what do you really want to do? We talk about this a lot. There is that sense, Aries, of you being so fucking competitive. You'll get wrapped up in, I just want to be the best. I want to get that VP job. And you don't even realize, do I even like the company, or do I even like what I do? But I want to be the VP because you got to win. Aries, you're the warrior. You want to win. This time, this moment in your life is so blessed because it's like the warrior on leave. He doesn't have to worry about the battle. He doesn't have to worry about always feeling defensive. He doesn't have to worry about winning. You know what he has to worry about? And in that time of exhale, you're allowed to what? Feel your own heartbeat again. Listen to your heartbeat and remember who the fuck I am. And if I'm going to be the VP of anything, it's going to be something that I love to do, not something that I'm doing because I've gotten caught up in the competitiveness of it. This is a sense of reach out, but you know what? You're reaching out and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. This is a good time for things like therapy, for things like going to your friends, for things like vacation, for things like, hey, maybe I do need some help. Maybe if you're having any kind of medical issues of any sort, this is a good time to take your leave and say, I need to get this checked. I run so fast, Aries. If anybody can run on a broken leg, it's you. You could figure out how to run on 2 broken legs. Like, you'll get it done. Like, if you had to rip your bones out of your legs and use them as stilts, you'll keep going. This is that time to be like, no, I want to go heal. I want to go take care of myself. This is your time. Ultimately, and I try to explain this to Capricorn too, ultimately, if you're getting this time, it's because you've earned it somehow. So please allow yourself to indulge in this moment of receptivity. There is a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of craziness, and there's a lot of bad omens flying all around. So good, man, it's a good time to like stay the fuck inside, yo. You have Raven Spirit here, which can be a dark omen, but it's also wisdom and it's truth. And that's why I think a lot of people associate bad luck with ravens, because it's the goddamn truth that you've been trying to get away from. And that's why you think like you don't want to hear it. But guess what? There's nothing to be afraid of when Raven shows up, if you are right with yourself. And he's a deeply rooted in spirituality. So there's a sense of finding your spirituality, finding your sense of your connection to the universe. There's also a sense of maybe becoming more mystical or attached to the more mystical. This is cougar. This is assertive. This is also, in silence, you find your power. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. This is all destined for you, is what I'm saying. If you've gotten any new opportunity now, it's because it was destined for you, and it was definitely determined that you deserve this opportunity, and it has everything to do with your 1111. I just saw it. Oh my God. It has everything to do with your life path. Like, you are on your life path if you've just gotten an opportunity is opened up to you right now. And there's a sense of you're making something new, little raccoon energy. Cutie, being ingenuitive. Maybe you don't know what you're walking into, so don't make decisions and don't make plans. Know your goal and know your heart. Your heart will always guide you in the right direction. I know that sounds like an after-school special. I don't mean it to. Ultimately, Aries, this is a sense of, yeah, you're walking into something new, but you absolutely deserve to be here. This was destined. I don't know if it's love. I don't know if it's a career, but ultimately, if your life has changed recently, and that's what I'm feeling, that there has been a pivot. Remember that scene from Friends? Yo. There's a sense that there's been a change. There's been a pivot somehow. And it's a good thing. You pivot in that direction. Like, you're literally, it's almost like the universe has like, Aries, you just stay there, be lazy. I'm going to like pivot you in the right direction. Do it. Go that way. Trust it, because that was a decision that came down from the board meeting. I liken this to a board meeting, like a universal audit that was going on for the past 8 months. It's just like that was what was handed down, and now we know, Aries, go in that direction. Don't question it. It's almost like two different extremes here. This is a really interesting combination for the two, for you guys. This is being all defensive, almost being jaded, and this is being sort of shy. So it's almost like you get to sort of like leave any kind of jaded bullshit behind, anything that wore you out, made you tired, and kind of just made you feel defensive. You get to leave that behind and get to start over, almost like an ingenue, somebody who's just debuting, somebody who's kind of like just interested in, there's a new start here. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a new start and a purifying of yourself through this new start. Let's get into the major reading. I know. Can you believe that? That wasn't even the major reading. Yes, I provide up in this bitch. Yes, I do. Okay, so we have in the past, way in the past, Taurus. But it's also foresight. And that's what I think. I think that in the past, you had enough foresight to understand that you needed a directional shift. It's almost like with a neck this long, you could see, holy shit, I better get off this train track because it falls off the cliff. Like, there's that sense of knowing somehow, understanding. There's also a sense of a financial stability, but also clarity and a gentleness. There's a gentle-heartedness here. There's a goodness. There's a kindness. Something to do with money. Gentleness, kindness. Interesting. Take the lead. Look at that. It's like, honestly, like doing something for others that's helpful and gentle and kind. It's like being the one. What did I say? You were able to see something in advance and be working to it. You knew that this was the time for you to change. And so you didn't question the signs. You just basically looked for your opportunity. And when the time was right, you allowed yourself to go. This is finances. This is Taurus energy. This is knowing what's right before everybody else does. Redirecting yourself based on your heart. It's also taking spiritual guidance. That's what it is. It's like allowing your soul to lead the way, and following the direction of your, kind of like your gut and your soul, as opposed to anything else. And you have Crow again. So this is, in other words, spirit is you're following spirits. You're following the path that Spirit asked you to be on. You have literally answered the call. This is you being tapped. You've been tapped. You've been tapped, Aries. You've been tapped. And it's going to lead to a great deal of abundance. The sun will shine. And listen, I love this card because it's the bee. It's the bee. And it's like, oh, yummy. Sweet results await. Honey, honey, honey. Only hard-working bees get the fucking honey. When this card shows up, it tells me, Aries, that you've been working hard, and that's why you got yourself some damn honey. It's not like all of a sudden you wake up and the fucking honey's there. Not when you're a bee. You have to work for it. You know, you have to organize all this shit, arrange shit, and be working day and night to make that fucking honey. That's why they're so protective of it, right? This is a sense of sweet results await because of your hard work, because of stuff that you did and decisions that you made. So Aries, as much as you may feel like this is like this period is so, it's drudging. I honestly think, I'm going to call this right now, I think it's a blessing. I think it's exactly what you need. It is. I live in the noisiest neighborhood, and I apologize for all those stupid, obnoxious sounds that go on behind my videos. They really irritate the crap out of me. Bring a gentle touch. So this is compassion. And this is a part of yourself that you may not always tap into. But once again, this is the time when you will be tapping into parts of yourself that you kind of shoved in the closet and don't let breathe. This is a new beginning and a new start. It's telling me that after a lot of hard work and arduous commitment, you are getting an opportunity that is really, really sweet. This could also be a new love or a new child coming into your life. This is Virgo energy, and Venus did just enter Virgo. I almost got shook. Hold on a second. Venus was in Leo, and she just entered a Virgo. So we're following Venus here. And you know what that means? It's almost like even Venus, we're following the divine feminine here. And Mars is like the divine masculine. So we're following the divine feminine. We're going with spirit. We're going with God. It's almost like trusting that somebody else gets the attention now. And there you have courage. This is Leo energy. This is courage. This is courage and faith in the future. This is looking forward and moving forward. This is a beautiful future, a happy one where you're not so stressed all the time, where you don't have to freak out all the time, where maybe you don't even have to work as hard all the time because life gets easier from this point on. Now, I know that the astrology is wonky. I'm not saying it gets easier tomorrow, but it will be easier. It will absolutely be easier if you don't resist it. If you just allow yourself to experience the gentleness of this moment. Those parts, those dynamics that you normally wouldn't allow yourself to experience. Like normally, you're the first one in the ring. You're the first one in the fight, and you're the first one jumping into the sack. But it's like maybe now you're like enjoying the conversation. You know, maybe now you're like just enjoying the scenery. Maybe now you're just like taking in the view. Maybe now you're just spending time with friends because that's where you want to be. You know, there's this sense of like, trust fate. Because as much as it seems like it's riding your back right now, it has your back right now. Sometimes life stings. This is pain. Pain and suffering. This is Scorpio energy in reverse. Pain and suffering, being over, being finished, being done. Something that was nagging you, being completed. It's almost like, yes, I finally got that fly that was irritating me. That's what it is. It's like, I know it's a wasp or a mosquito, but it reminds me of the gadfly. You know, if you think of Socrates' story of the gadfly, calling himself the gadfly, like, I am the pest that keeps nipping you until you do something that you were supposed to do. And I feel like you went through a time, because this is Scorpionic energy, you finally crossed over that threshold. You finally did something that you were supposed to do. It had been nagging you for a while. It had been bothering you for a while. And you finally were able to take action and like swat that fly. Hold on. Yeah. Dolphin, this and that are true. This is an in-between period, but it's also a playful period. This is a period where you can just, I'm not saying be very active, because I don't think you're going to have a lot of energy right now, but there is a sense of, oh my God, that's your transition, man. You're finally seeing the other side of the story. That's seeing the other perspective, the other point of view. You're finally seeing the divine feminine point of view. You're finally understanding the value of it. And that's why it was so important for Spirit to put you in this position. So you could actually see the value in something that maybe you were constantly overlooking. Collaboration. It's time to collaborate. Oh, hey. But it's playful. It stays light. Maybe this has to do with new work, a new job, or simply just seeing the other side of the story, seeing your partner's point of view. Interesting. And then last but not Libra energy we have here. This is romance. Hello. A little bit of romance coming in. Okay. I'm good. I'm good with that for you. That's fine with me. Oh, clear out the clutter. This is Cancerian energy, Libran energy. Basically, because the frog is a totem of transformation as well. Old relationships are gone. Old relationships are over. But not just old relationships, because that's petty business. And you know, the big papas, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, they don't deal with the petty business. They deal with the big business. So what is the big business? It's the big business inside of you, right? Because Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, they're in all of us, right? They're in all of us. They're the universe. We're a reflection of the universe. The universe is a reflection of us. What am I telling you all this for? Essentially, I'm saying that it's not just your old relationships that are in the past. And watch out, because this is what's going to be the blessing, because Mercury is about to go into retrograde. And you know those motherfucking texts from the ex always come in during Mercury retrograde. This is a sense of you actually changing the way that you love, actually changing your expectations for love. That's what we're talking about. We're not just talking about don't answer your ex back. We're saying it's not going to be difficult for you to like even care, even like to not care that your ex called you. Why? Because you love differently now. You want something so different. And so it's almost like a bunch of chains being dropped. If you pay attention, reclaim your power, and that's what you are. You're reclaiming your power by allowing the very core of how you form relationships to change, of the very core of your expectations in relationships to change. That's how you are reclaiming your power, by allowing and honoring the power in the other, because the other is also attached to you. And that's what I think we don't realize when we get too extreme and we try to be like, oh, the divine feminine, oh, that's the side I'm on. Oh, the divine masculine, that's the side I'm on. We don't realize that we're actually dividing ourselves in two, because both those things are in all of us. And when we like basically just create energy only in one area, there's a sense of basically killing or neglecting the other part of us. So inevitably part of us gets sick. It's like dragging a gangrene leg behind us. It's going to kill you at some point, right? So when you honor and heal and love those other aspects of yourself, that's your way to refueling your power. It's like that secret niche in retrograde is to allow yourself those moments with those parts of you that you neglect. And that's what you're doing right now with those parts of you that you neglect. You're almost establishing a different relationship, and you're finding energy stores there because, hello, it's part of you and you're not neglecting them anymore. Oh my God. Okay, let's get into these angel messages. Ooh, hello. Archangel Metatron is here. That's very spiritual. Very spiritual energy. The unknown. There's definitely been a shift and a change. You're definitely entering a new cycle in your life, Aries. Okay, so we have the unknown. Do not fear the unknown. This is a time of deep exploration and transformation. Unfamiliar territory leads to new horizons. And that's what you're stepping. And I know it's weird and odd, and maybe even those different aspects of yourself are odd, but ultimately you are so smart and so blessed to actually have this be so stark and clear for you, because it's not stark and clear for others. It's not. Archangel Metatron is here. Oh, and he hid something. I'll show it to you. I am your link between heaven and earth, between humanity and your divinity. See the two extremes, right? You're linking them, you're connecting them. This is your bridge period. This and that are true. I am here to help you heal the conflict that exists between your heart and mind. Feel me in your heart and thoughts. Through oneness, there is love, because your heart and mind are both a part of you. They actually, they're never supposed to work in isolation from one another. And so this is finding connection to that part of yourself that you denied so often. And then we have Archangel Uriel here. What? A great spiritual transformation is currently occurring both in your life and our world. This is the union of heaven and earth, spirit and matter. This is a really holy and spiritual time for you right now. So just let it happen to you. Heart and mind unite in harmonious balance. Thank you, Archangel Uriel. And last but not least, we have vision. A positive outcome requires a positive vision. Visualize everyone involved in your present situation surrounded by light and love. Make sure to include yourself also. Your love has the power to influence and transform the current events. I gotta say, this is all about vision. It's what I say, it's all about the future. And you were insightful enough to take that leap of faith early on. So if there has been a change and a shift in your life, you just got that job, you just met someone new, there's a sense of that being the gateway or the first step along your new path. That's beautiful energy. You want the details? You want the down and dirty? Come on over to Tarot. I hope you join me. The link to the extended is in the description box right below this video. If you can't find it, just click on that little arrow and it'll pop down. I'll see you guys over there.